the second week of spring training, and the one constant, despite the elbow issues surrounding Cliff Lee, has been the Phillies pitching. While the offense has been slow to get going, the pitching sits fifth in the National League through the first week of games. It's different for every pitcher, but all possess the same goal, being ready for the first week of April. Baseball here in Clearwater, Florida, but first, maybe an autograph from your favorite Philadelphia Philly player. That's right, the left field line is the place to go. The Pittsburgh Pirates are in town for a day game here at Bright House Field in Clearwater. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Ben Davis. So far, the Phils are 3-4-1 in spring training games. The pitching's been pretty good, aside from Miguel Alfredo Gonzalez yesterday, who got hit with a line drive and had to exit the ball game. But today's starter, Cole Hamels, he was pretty darn good in his only outing so far. He's been great. 2 innings, he did give up the one hit, but he did it pretty much with fastball and changeup. He had a very good sinker the other day. Didn't see that velocity we're accustomed to seeing out of Cole. But he was pretty much 86 to 89 the other day, but just a tremendous changeup. He will start to mix the other pitches in later on. Now, when you are a starting pitcher who has 4 quality pitches, when do you start mixing the cutter and the changeup in more? Well, he's been working on that in the bullpen, but I think it'll start to come into play maybe around his 3rd or 4th start. I still think you'll see a lot of sinkers, working on his fastball in and out and mixing some changeups. Probably go 3, possibly 4 innings here this afternoon against the Pittsburgh Pirates, so we'll see if he can continue to get stronger as spring training moves on. He'll be opposed by right-hander Charlie Morton, who will be followed by another Pirates starter, Jeff Locke, who will be the next one up for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, the Pirates and the Phils have always had a great rivalry. They're in a different division now, but Bradenton's so close, the Bucco fans make their way to Clearwater. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Citizens Bank, introducing One Deposit Checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. By Toyota. Toyota's One for Everyone sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. By Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com.
When Martin
There's Adam Morgan, who's continuing to open up some eyes again, coming back from shoulder surgery for the Phillies. Jordan Danks getting a chance to meet some of the Phillies fans for the first time. Chad Billingsley and some others. Cody Ashews coming back from being hit by a pitch the other day. Took batting practice earlier today and was swinging the bat quite well. It's one of the rites of spring here at Bright House Fields. Well, Cole Hamels is out on the mound warming up for the Phillies. The Pittsburgh Pirates are in town. Let's take a look at their starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Josh Harrison leads it off at third base. Francisco Cervelli bats second. Jordy Mercer hits third, followed by Neil Walker and Jose Tabata in left field. Gregory Polanco's in right field. Devinson Romero, the first baseman, will bat seventh. Hitting eighth is Gorgeous Hernandez. And batting ninth and pitching is Charlie Morton. Usually at this point in spring training, you don't see the pitcher hitting, but the Pirates have decided to put Morton into the 9-hole, and they'll face left-hander Cole Hamels. Solid season a year ago, 198 strikeouts in 204 2/3 innings, and a little different, Ben, compared to last spring when he didn't throw any innings here at spring training.
No, he did not. But you know what? His first outing, he looked absolutely outstanding. He is 90-93. We will see him get up 95, 96 miles per hour with his fastball. We all know about the devastating changeup, but he mixes in that curveball early in the count and will mix in a cutter as well.
First batter that he will face is Josh Harrison, who had a solid year last year. Technically, he was a utility man a season ago, but then as the season moved on, really took over at third base, and that's where he'll be in 2015. He had .315 with 13 home runs and 52 runs batted in. And already a conversation between Cole Hamels and Tommy Joseph.
They forgot the signs.
Tommy probably said, well, the other day, I was throwing down this, that, and the other thing. So Hamels with a little smile on his face. First pitch of the day. Just inside. Ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Harrison last year, 164 hits for the Pittsburgh Pirates. 1 ball, 1 strike to him. Mentioned he'll be at third base. Pedro Alvarez will be over at first base this year. Let's see what he's done so far this spring. Up high. Well, he's overthrown a couple fastballs right out of the chute here.
I think he feels a little bit better than he did the other day. I mean, he was sitting at 86, 87. The first couple you see here at 91.
Tom Hallion's behind the plate for today's game.
Yeah, you see him missing up. That means he's, like I said, feeling good and overthrowing.
On the outside corner. So all fastballs so far from Cole Hamels. It's really not an oddity at this point in spring training.
No.
So 92 is his topping point, at least at this point in this ball game.
May have been ball 4 there, but we saw Marty Foster yesterday calling that high strike.
Now he's up with a few of these pitches, as we mentioned. Would you say anything to him as a catcher? Is there anything that you'd want to see him do differently?
I'd put a knee on the ground and just put my target as low as I could.
Got him on the hands. That one's out of play over our heads.
94.
Yeah, a little different here at Bright House Field this season. The radar gun, which is part of the brand new scoreboard and also part of our telecast. Fly ball, right field, playable for Jeff Francoeur. So Hamels threw all fastballs. He gets the first out of the inning. And with 1 out, that'll bring Francisco Cervelli to the plate. Over from the Yankees organization, he will take over for Russell Martin behind the plate. Last year he hit .301. This spring he's hitting .143.
Always been a very good catch and throw guy, as an absolute howitzer behind the plate.
Yeah, they originally signed him or acquired him from the Yankees. That was before they felt like they were out of the Russell Martin sweepstakes. But they knew that if Martin had left, then he would be okay to be the starting catcher. Swing and a miss. He overpowered him. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Clint Hurdle was saying the other day that when he was the hitting coach for the Texas Rangers back in 2010, he said that's when Cervelli was first on his radar. And when he became available this offseason, he was all for the Pirates going after him. It's kind of interesting that managers will tuck some notes away, internal notes away from year to year.
They're always watching. If you're watching Cole here, you really don't like what you're seeing. And it's fastball after fastball, but these pitches are elevated.
Well, he's run the count to at least 3 balls against the first 2 hitters. Inside and low, ball 4. Last time out, he only went to 3 balls on 1 of the 7 hitters that he faced. And that'll bring Jordy Mercer to the plate. Mercer played at 103 games in 2013 and then 149 last year for the Pirates. 12 home runs. He started out so slow offensively, but then really picked it up and turned out to be a pretty good year. Cutter. Was it 90?
90. I think it was just a sinker. I was watching the actual game. I wasn't watching the monitor there, so. What do you prefer, the actual game or the monitor?
Game.
Do you?
Yeah.
So do I.
I'll look up at the miles per hour from time to time if I can't tell a pitch. That one's whacked to third. Franco has a little trouble. They're not able to turn 2. But they do get the lead runner at second base. Well, that was a routine double play ball. It's hit so hard.
You don't know how it will play out, but it could ultimately save your pitcher a lot of pitches. Being able to turn that double play there.
He reacted pretty quickly, too, after the ball hit off his glove.
He did.
Neil Walker was not originally in the starting lineup for the Pirates this morning in Bradenton, but he missed yesterday's game. He had been hit by a pitch in the back of his leg the other day. So he missed yesterday's game. He was scratched. So because of that, they put him in the lineup here today. One ball and 1 strike. Mentioned that Tommy Joseph doing the catching here this afternoon for the Phils. Ground ball to third. Should be an easy play for Franco. He has a strong arm and is able to throw out Walker. Side is retired. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left for the Pirates. had before the start of the game. Looks like it's continued into the dugout. Do you think he did forget the signs?
No. I couldn't see them.
Well, Hamill's able to get through that first inning without allowing a run. He walked one batter. Let's take a look at the Phil starting lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Revere, Hernandez, and Sizemore, followed by Ryan Howard, Jeff Francoeur, and Dominic Brown, the DH today. The bottom third of Michael Franco, Tommy Joseph, and Chase Darno. They will face right-hander Charlie Morton, 31-year-old from Reading, Connecticut. Last year was 6-12. He's had some hip issues in recent years. An ERA last year of 3.72. But they think he's going to be part of this rotation again because he's healthy.
Well, he definitely has the stuff. First and foremost, that's what you like to see out of your pitchers. Does he have the stuff? Command's always another issue.
19 hit batters last year in 26 games. And that led the National League. Ben Revere leads it off. And Ben takes up and in. 1 ball, no strikes.
If you're wondering about Morton, he is a carbon copy of Roy Halladay in his delivery.
It's something that he implemented several years ago. He's fallen behind 2 balls and no strikes to Ben Revere. Now 3 balls and no strikes.
Very un-Doc-like there, though.
Yeah, he doesn't have the exact command that Doc would have.
Intentional grounding there.
It's mostly about arm angle, isn't it, with him compared to Doc?
I think so. You know, we did see Doc drop down just a hair more later on.
Good side ball for Revere's aboard. Both starters having a little command issue now. They've each walked a batter, and that'll bring Cesar Hernandez to the plate. No chance on Francisco Cervelli. All right, now we have seen so far this spring in these spots where the Phillies would try to sacrifice Revere into scoring position. Let's see what they do here.
I would say definitely not after those pitches. Make him start throwing some strikes first.
That ball's off the glove of Robinson, the first baseman, and Revere will go to seconds. I would think that's going to go down as an E3. That looked like a manageable throw from Charlie Morton.
Yes.
Yeah, Romero just could not come up with that. Cesar does show bunt. 1 ball and no strikes. And Cervelli out to the mound. 6 pitches, 5 have been out of the strike zone for Charlie Morton.
And this is why I would not give up an out in this situation. You have a guy that's out there struggling to throw strikes. Why would you give him an out? He's already in scoring position.
If anything, you at least let him throw a strike, wouldn't you?
Correct.
And he does bunt, so Revere will go over to third base. It will go down as a sacrifice for Cesar Hernandez.
Can't say that I agree with it, but it got the job done.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that, Ben. It's a good point about the commands. You know, to let him try to throw a strike before, or before you settle for the sacrifice. Phillies, the last 3 home games here at Bright House, they've had 15 hits. 12 of them have been singles. They've only hit 2 home runs this spring. The Pirates will play the infield in. Grady Sizemore is the batter, and he pulls it foul. It's no balls and 1 strike. Sizemore hitting under 100 so far this spring. We talked about it for a while yesterday. The Phillies offense certainly has struggled. They were shut out yesterday. And they are last in the National League right now in spring training games in average. Chopper to second. Revere's coming home. The throw to the plate, and he is out. 4-3 on the putout. Well, Clint Hurdle decides to work on his infield defense being in, and Neil Walker's able to throw Revere out at the plate.
Howard's not willing to concede the run right there. First inning of spring training game, March 11th. Play him in. Hey, it works.
And Cervelli did give him the backside of the plate. He gave him a path to the plate, and then once he had the ball, he was able to hook him. So 2 away here in the bottom of the first. Ryan Howard will be the batter. Howard hitting .250 this spring. And he takes inside, 1-0. That ball gets away from Cervelli, and Sizemore will go up to second base.
He's having a mental block right now. He's aiming the ball. I mean, to be missing this much is.
And he's missed in that spot most of the time. I mean, there's been a couple outside, but for the most part, it's been in that same spot. Clint Hurdle with the sunglasses on his hat.
Hopefully they can get Grady in here from second, because for him to go unscathed through this inning with the command he's had, it would be tough.
And even though he's been all over the place, that's only his 12th pitch. But he's behind 3-0 to Howard. Jeff Francoeur is on deck. Two. Ryan looked a little off balance with that swing.
He did. The new position of his hands, it almost looks like he's having trouble getting his timing down, getting his foot down. And that ball's just straight by him.
Out toward left, and Tabata is there. The Phillies do threaten but do not score here in the first. They leave one in scoring position. We'll go to the second here at Bright House. Pirates nothing, Phillies nothing.
0.
when the Phillies open up the season with the Boston Red Sox. That's game number 2, and it's McDonald's opening night. And the opening night T-shirt will be given out to fans 15 and older. You can check out that T-shirt and purchase tickets by going to Phillies.com. We begin the second in a scoreless game. Cole Hamels and Tommy Joseph will have another conversation. And we're just going to do this from time to time.
I really
come on, Mr. Catcher.
I'm telling you, I have no idea what 2 innings in a row, and they obviously discussed in the dugout.
First pitch to Tabata. Upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes.
Silly left-handers.
Oh, we're going to blame it on the left-hander here? Not going to blame it on the catcher? Never. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike to Tabata.
Not to be funny, though, but you have a veteran pitcher, you're a young catcher, you always want to make a good impression with that pitcher. How you handle him, how you get along, if you're seeing eye to eye on different hitters. I wasn't saying I was nervous to catch a veteran guy like that, but you don't want to let him, you feel like you let him down if you're not on the same page.
Well, and I wondered if that was kind of going through Tommy Joseph's mind a little bit as he was walking back out there. Upstairs, 2-2. Tommy, when he was acquired from the Giants, was considered a very gifted catcher, and he's been battling concussions and a bad wrist over the years. Ground ball to second base.
Very good cutter there.
Cesar Hernandez makes the play. 1 away here in the second. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. He's going to think outside the baseball box with this interview. Murph?
Yeah, why not? Because, we're watching baseball right now, but a lot of folks down here in the Clearwater, Tampa area will be watching some golf. We welcome in Ricky Barnes, who is here getting set to play Innisbrook this weekend and the PGA Tour. And first of all, welcome to Bright House Field. Got a chance to throw out the first ball, and you impressed some people out there.
I threw a strike. That's all Coach wants is strikes and put the ball in play. So I did okay.
Tell us a little bit about this upcoming weekend. I know you've been out on the course at Innisbrook. If anyone's ever been over there, it's a beautiful place to play. And I would imagine it's always a nice crowd. Is it a fun place to play?
It is. They've done a really good job. Each and every year seems like this tournament gets better. Valspar taking over as the main sponsor has been a huge help, and a lot more grandstands up this year. And the course is in great shape. They had a great overseed this year. And it's a tough, demanding golf course. So scores aren't, usually really, really low. So if you shoot a couple under each round, you'll be there come Sunday.
Yeah, you're obviously a professional golfer, but have some athletic blood as well. Your father played for the New England Patriots. He was a punter for the Patriots. So you've been around sports your entire life, right?
Yeah, and growing up, played 3 or 4 sports in high school, and randomly I played, usually you fit in baseball where golf does in the season in California, but I played, basketball, golf, football instead of the old baseball, football, golf.
Seems to have worked out all right for you.
Yeah, so I made it, and I guess I made the right decision.
How's your game right now? How are you feeling as you head into the weekend?
Good. I've been working with a new teacher, and, always taking it from the range of the course is a little bit difficult, but last few weeks I've shown, some signs of brilliance and limiting the mistakes. So that's going to be huge this week because the Copperhead's a pretty demanding golf course, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right, well, Ricky, good luck. I know you're headed out there to practice right now. We appreciate you being here. Thanks for your time. Good luck this weekend. Tom, will send it back upstairs to you.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. And here's his first pitch. Not too shabby. Fanatic thought it was right on the inside part of the plate, called it a strike. What we just had here while Murph was talking to Ricky Barnes was a brain cramp on the part of Cole Hamels. He could have gotten out of the inning very comfortably, but he didn't cover first on a slow chopper over to first. And Ryan Howard was kind of left out into no man's land.
Yeah, it does happen. Despite these guys practicing it a lot, you could hear Tommy Joseph yelling, "Get over, get over, get over."
And when we say they practice it a lot, every day they're doing some kind of pitcher's fielding practice, PFPs. And they do it even during the season as well. He knew it right away. Watch it. Whoop. Cesar Hernandez did his best to try to get over there in time. But Romero was able to beat it. 2 balls and 1 strike to Hernandez.
My explanation is Cole thought that was going to second base, but Ryan was so far off the line, he decided to go and get it. Still not an excuse. But I could see from his angle he thought Hernandez was going to get to it.
toward the hole, backhanded by Chase Darno, and he flips across the diamond in time. And that'll do it for the Pirates here in the second. They leave one. We'll head to the bottom of the second here at Bright House. The first Hatfield Dollar Dog Night of the season will be Thursday, April 9th at 7:05 when the Phillies wrap up their 3-game series against the Boston Red Sox. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. The Fanatic and Smiley are best of friends. In fact, I believe the Fanatic has invited Smiley to join him here at Bright House Field this afternoon. So we'll keep an eye on that. Jeff Francoeur will lead it off. All right, so Charlie Morton in the first inning, 15 pitches, and the splits were 15 pitches is okay, but the splits were not what he would have liked.
No,
8 balls, 7 strikes. Facing Jeff Francoeur to start things off. 0-1 to Francoeur, hitting under 200 here in the spring, coming off a year in which he had 15 home runs in AAA.
Morton's still yanking those pitches. He's really spinning off the ball.
It was off the glove of Cervelli. May have robbed him of a strike. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
We'd always yell "Sapo."
Sapo
at the Latin catchers, and you get a frog. Sapo is frog, and you get a frog in your glove.
That pitch there was almost in the same spot as the one that he dropped. Gosh darn Sapos.
Sapo. Francisco's a good kid. I was talking to him before the game. We were in camp together with the Yankees. Very, very nice kid.
Outside, 3-2. Did he beat you out for a spot with the Yankees?
No, he did not. He was still, at the lower levels, but very impressed with his work ethic and how he threw the ball to second. Very good on.
Out toward right field. That's pretty well hit. Polanco is going to be there. The wind is going to pull it back. And there's 1 out here in the second. Would you say the wind is the same as yesterday?
It looks like it. Francoeur hit that ball very well. It was a good at bat, saw some pitches, drove a ball to right. Can't be disappointed with that at bat.
Yesterday there were 3 home runs hit by the Tigers, and they were all the other way. I was talking to Charlie Manuel today about the one that Daniel Fields hit yesterday, the opposite field shot that hit the back of the bullpen. And Charlie said, the wind got a hold of that. He said, but if the wind didn't get a hold of it, it would have landed in the Tigers bullpen, but it got a hold of it and landed in the Phillies bullpen.
Correct.
With the shift, and the Pirates utilized the shift more than any other team in the National League. Dominic Brown is retired for the second outs. And that'll bring Maikel Franco to the plate. Fred Hurdle's team is They've been to the postseason each of the last 2 years after a 2-decade drought prior to that. And 2 years ago, the shift, and a lot of pitchers felt this way for the Pirates, the shift really helped them get to the postseason.
The baseball man knows what he's doing. The players really enjoy playing for him.
Do you get the inspirational emails from him that he sends out on a daily basis?
I do not. Not on that list.
I get them.
Yeah?
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike. First heard about them in an article that was written about Clint and what he tries to do to get the players motivated. As Franco squibs one out toward the middle. Mercer stumbled a little bit but throws him out. Phillies go down in order. We'll go to the third here at Bright House Field. Now their offense really getting things rolling.
If you want to succeed.
Kids opening day sponsored by Turkey Hill will be Sunday, April 12th when the Phillies wrap up a 3-game series against the Washington Nationals. All fans 14 and under will receive that backpack. And it's again compliments of the folks at Turkey Hill. Nationals will be in town from the 10th to the 12th. Tickets can be purchased for all 3 games by going to Phillies.com. Scoreless. We'll go to the third. Charlie Morton will lead it off, and he takes high. It's 1 ball and no strikes. We see Osprey a lot, Doves a lot. There was just a plane that flew awfully close to the stadium of just a second ago.
It's very close.
2-0 pitch to Morton. 2-1. That's the plane. When it was coming in, it was pretty close. Two and two to Charlie Morton. I think it was Roy Halladay flying overhead.
Could have been. Watching his protege. I don't know how Charlie feels about Charlie Morton, about being in the lineup today.
It's early for pitchers to hit, right?
It is.
Well, every manager's different. And some of the oddities of spring training is that you'll have one team have the pitcher bat and the other team have the DH. Three balls, 2 strikes. And that's what we normally see. They're okay to be close to the stadium. Well, forget about how Charlie Morton feels about hitting today. How about Cole Hamels feeling about Charlie Morton?
Yeah,
swinging.
Throwing a lot of pitches.
See Hamels pitches per inning. Got him with a changeup. He decided not to fool around anymore, and he picks up his first strikeout of the afternoon. Well, that pitch is ready for opening day.
It's always ready.
That'll bring Josh Harrison to the plate. He flied to right his first time up.
I'll go to my grave and saying the best pitch in baseball is a well-located fastball. But right off of that is a changeup, in my opinion. Same arm slot, same rotation, different speed.
And the thing about Hamels is changeup, he can throw it where he basically wants to. It doesn't have to be in that same spot the last one was.
And when it's really, really good, it's getting to the hitter and it's dropping. Wouldn't say it has a hump in it, but it's dropping quickly.
91 on that pitch. It's 0-2.
And I don't care if it's 91 or 85. It's the location is where it's all about.
Down the left field line, Darno calls off Franco in foul territory. And there are 2 outs. And Cervelli's coming up for the second time. Pirates sent Justin Wilson to the Yankees, a hard-throwing pitcher for Francisco Cervelli. And Cervelli has spent a lot of time in his first few weeks in camp catching a lot of bullpens of the guys that will be in the rotation for the Pirates, just to kind of get used to them, he says, as pitchers, but also as people. He's also worked on watching a lot of film on the guys that potentially could be part of the staff. Is that important as a catcher coming over for the first time?
It's huge. Absolutely huge. You know, just from being in the league, you know guys and their tendencies and what they have. But to really get inside their head and see what makes them tick is huge. And the sooner you can get on the same page with your pitcher, the easier it's going to be.
1 ball, 1 strike to Cervelli. Not a bad spot. A little high. 2-1.
And the personality, knowing which guys you have to go out there and it's okay, it's okay. And the other guys you can go get into a little bit.
Yeah, that part of it I would think you can't gauge until a game. I mean, because guys are probably a little different during a game than, let's say, how they are in the clubhouse. Not every guy, but some guys.
Some guys are.
Hooks that one foul, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I would say the majority of the guys that I had the privilege to work with, you can go get into it a little bit with them. Some guys you had to coddle, but I'd say 75% of the pitchers reacted well to a little bit of criticism.
Pitch number 50 of the day, and a foul ball. I think Dan Iasonia, the second base umpire, forgot the counts. Adam Lowen, up from the minor league camp, is starting to stretch out in the bullpen. And ball 4. So for the second time today, Cervelli has walked. So 2 walks overall for Hamels. And Jordy Mercer will be the batter.
Shortstop, Jordy Mercer.
Ryan Sandberg controlling the running game and what he would want Hamels to do here. Well, they had him moving a little bit. Cervelli Not really fleet of foot, but he started to take a step over towards second. Whoa. I thought they were going to have Ryan Howard play back toward the bag this year a little bit more. I know he tries to do that just to kind of cheat a little bit to get to the ground balls.
And especially now that he is a little quicker. We saw him being pretty nimble around the base. You know, usually like to see get this right foot right here.
There we go.
You know, you'd like your right foot. I can't draw on this. No, because the ball does travel faster than your glove. If you're making that sweep tag, the ball's going to get there quicker than the tag will.
1 ball and 1 strike. All right, Ben, it's spring training for the telestrator.
Okay.
Draw again.
All right.
See what happens.
You would like his right foot.
There you go.
Right there. So this just if you do catch it out in front, you just have a farther way to go with your glove. You have to sweep it back so much farther.
Now instead of the straight line, what were you using before? 4A?
I don't know what that was.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Jordy Mercer. Fouls it away over the Pirates dugout.
Teeing it up with Clint Barnes later.
Yeah. First curveball of the day. It's a little high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They're checking to see if Adam Lowen is ready out in the bullpen. Hamels at 56 pitches so far. There's Adam, the former outfielder, now pitcher. Another curveball, a little high, 3-2. Runner will be off on this one. Tommy Joseph comes out and reminds everybody. Howard will play behind Cervelli. In the air to left field. That ball is crushed. And it is gone. Way out of here. A 2-run line drive home run for Jordy Mercer. The Pirates jump out to a 2-0 lead.
Two-out walks, Tom.
Well, the jet stream is an awful lot like yesterday. I mean, that one would have been gone no matter what, but it really got up.
Center cut, belt high.
Went right inside the bar at Frenchie's Tiki Bar. Leo Walker now the hitter. And the first pitch inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Mentioned before, the Phillies pitching staff, relievers and starters, 5th in the National League so far this spring. That one's floated out towards center. Late start for Revere, but he's there. Pirates are retired. They get a 2-run home run from Jordy Mercer as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. brought to you by Jefferson, where health is all we do. Call 1-800-JEFF now or visit jefferson.edu. Sunshiny afternoon here in Clearwater, Florida. The Phillies trail at 2-0. Cole Hamels, 3 innings, 2 hits, couple walks here this afternoon. His day is probably done. Phillies do have bullpen action behind him. And as we go to the bottom of the third, Charlie Morton will face Tommy Joseph, Chase Darno, and then the top of the order, there's Jonathan Papelbon. Looks like Pap will be the next guy out for the Phils. He's scheduled to pitch today, as is Jenmar Gomez, Andy Oliver, Mario Hollins, and Elvis Arrojo. Tommy Joseph last year hit .282 with Reading. Overall in the minor leagues, hit .276. Takes on the outside corner that first pitch from Charlie Morton. It's 0-1. Tommy Joseph was the centerpiece in the trade and the Phillies made with the Giants that sent Hunter Pence to the San Francisco Giants. Came over as one of the top catching prospects in baseball at the time. But he's been battling concussions since his arrival with the Phillies, and then last year a wrist injury as well. Two and two.
I have liked what I've seen out of him defensively. Soft hands, very good arm. Moves laterally behind the plate very well. Got to watch him and Chooch take some extra BP last week, and he's got some thump.
I guess just getting into game shape and getting into games without any injuries or any thoughts of the concussion are a big deal for him.
Absolutely. Up this year. You know, I saw a foul ball go directly off his face mask early in the second inning there, and it's the first thing I thought of was concussion.
Did you ever deal with those as a catcher?
Not that I'm aware of.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
And they happen all the time. Foul balls, you just. There's a knock.
Base hit toward the middle. And Tommy Joseph's aboard. First hit of the day for the Phils. Fans recognizing that. Now Chase Darno will be the batter. Keeping it through the middle.
Good.
Darno is over from the Pirates organization. In fact, he was one of their top infield prospects several years ago. Played 8 games with the Pirates last year. He scored 2 runs, did not have a plate appearance. First pitch is inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Phillies and the Pirates obviously play each other a lot during spring training because Bradenton's not too far. And for years, Chase Darno would be one of those prospects the Pirates would talk about that would always be in games, late in games. Phillies had his brother Travis before they traded him to the Blue Jays in the Roy Halladay deal. He's now with the Mets. Off the end of the bat, floats out to right field. That's going to be in for a base hit. Joseph does get to second. The ball gets away. He made the right decision by not trying to advance to third. So the Phils have back-to-back hits. And Ben Revere is coming up.
Right off the label for a knock to right. We know our limitations, Tom.
Well, some know them more than others. Phillies were picking up one single after another yesterday, 2 of which did not get out of the infield. Here's Ben Revere. He walked his first time up and then was thrown out at the plate trying to score on a ground ball. Pirates have the infield set up for 2. And he bunts. Morton off the mound. And he just barely gets it there in time to get Revere. Sacrifice goes 1-3. Cesar Hernandez will be the hitter.
Great bunt here. Using the end of the bat to deaden the ball. Does keep that bat head up. Almost beats it out there at first.
I'm not sure what kind of trot that is back to the dugout for Ben Revere.
It's better than the wince from last year.
Yeah. All right, so now Cesar Hernandez is up. The Pirates have a 2-0 lead, so they play the infield back. Well, the Phillies putting 2 runners on. See Cesar's numbers this spring. Inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Morton is fighting his control in this outing, but he's been better these last couple of innings.
Again, you can see the stuff is there. Late movement, both sides of the plate.
Pap's got the wrong hat on again. Jeff Locke does not. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And Paps is concerned with that.
I don't think he is even a little bit.
Spring training hats are so uncomfortable.
Are they really?
Terribly.
Line drive on a couple of hops. Smothered by Mercer. He throws Hernandez out, but the Phils score a run. And it's a 2-1 ball game.
What I'd like to see. That is outstanding. He did make an out, yes, but he smoked the ball hard to shortstop. All you can do is hit it hard. He stayed up the middle, got a run in. That's great. That's a great job right there.
Yeah, because the infield was back. So they were giving you the run if you can make some contact.
Infield's in. That's probably 2 RBIs right there.
That's true.
So they're not going to be in with a 2-run lead.
Well, here's Grady Sizemore. And Sizemore swings at the first pitch. To his right is Neil Walker. And the Phillies settle for 1 run. They get 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 1 over at third. We've played 3. The Pirates are on top 2-1. Spend it all a Phillies game with a group of 25 or more. Take advantage of special group opportunities, including discounts, theme nights, party areas, and much more. No matter what size group, there are always benefits and special options. For more information, check out Phillies.com/group tickets. 2-1 Pirates on top. A 2-run home run by Jordy Mercer. Gave them the first runs of the day. Jonathan Papelbon will be the new pitcher for the Phils. Takes over for Cole Hamels. Cole went 3 innings. Allowed 2 hits and 2 runs, 2 walks and 1 strikeout. Pap a year ago, a 2.04 ERA. He's pitched 1 outing so far this spring. Somewhat uneventful. He looked pretty comfortable. Charlie Morton, meanwhile, is going to run out to the Pirates bullpen. And I guess he's going to throw some more pitches. His day is done on the field. Jeff Locke is throwing right now as we speak. Jonathan Papelbon will have to wait. Although a lot of times guys are running on the warning track, and the game continues here in spring training. Here's Jose Tabata. He grounded out his first time up. Swings at the first pitch. Man, that one went into the crowd fast.
Don't like to watch those.
Fortunately, it hit a pole. There's that slur, but it's 0-2 to Papelbon. Or excuse me, to Tabata. Papelbon. First time out. Was he at 91, 92 with his fastball?
He was. Still calling the pitches. As he did the other day.
Well, just like the other day, every once in a while the catcher would throw some signs down. That one's pulled towards short on 1 hop. Darno's got it. Tabata's retired 1 out. And Gregory Polanco. He's probably the Pirates' biggest prospect. He came up last year after hitting over 300 in the minor leagues. He wound up batting .235 with 7 home runs and 33 runs batted in. They got a pretty good outfield. Marte in lefts, McCutchen the perennial MVP in center, and then if Polanco does become what they expect, he's going to be in right field no matter what to start the year.
He can do it all too. He can do it all. Was extremely hot when he got called up last year. Went into scuffled a bit. Once the scouting report gets out on you, you have to readjust.
0-1 the count. Off the end of the bat, Franco was playing in.
Good splitter there. Very
shattered the bat, so 2 away.
First baseman, Romero.
And now Romero, the batter. Yeah, if Polanco does what the Pirates expect, I mean, they've got youth across the board. McCutchen's the elder statesman, but he's still young.
$1 million, Tom. This is a slider.
You think so? A slurve.
After Pap just motioned it.
And there it is. All right, let's think along with Jonathan Papelbon here.
Fastball up and in.
Yeah.
Love it. He knows what he wants to work on. I really like that about him.
Well, he's got excellent velocity. I know that doesn't always tell the story, but there's always talk about his velocity. But he threw a pitch earlier that was at 94. That one was at 93, and it was right where he wanted it, or close to where he wanted it. He probably wanted it up a little bit more.
A little bit more.
And now it's Tommy Joseph who calls the pitch.
No, he called a slider before I saw him.
Oh, did he? They're just trying to sell it.
It wasn't as demonstrative as the other ones. Fastball in. The other teams aren't watching. We're giving away his secrets. He will not do this during the regular season.
I don't know if it works. He might. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That is such an effective pitch right there. Fastball away. Such an effective pitch because you get so conscious of that ball riding back in.
Slider lifted out toward right center field. Jeff Francoeur has got it. And that'll do it for the Pirates here in the 4th inning. Pretty easy inning for Jonathan Papelbon as we go to the bottom of the 4th. The Extraordinary Scholar Program is once again in effect up in Philadelphia. You can go to Phillies.com/scholar for more information. You have to write an essay sharing how you are contributing to the common good through service. It's for 2014-2015 sophomores and juniors. You have to have a minimum of 3.0 be average. Nominations are accepted on a rolling basis through August 3rd of this year. Home half of the 4th inning. Phillies have managed a couple hits. Those were against Charlie Morton, whose day is done. Here's Jeff Locke. Locke has been kind of mesmerizing against the Phillies. They have a lot of difficulty with him. A young pitcher who's done very well for the Pirates over the last couple of seasons. And he is most likely going to be their 5th starter. And he will face Ryan Howard, Jeff Francoeur, Dominic Brown here in the 4th inning. Andy Oliver looks like he'll be the next one out of the Phillies bullpen. Howard 4 for 17 after a fly ball to left field his first time up. Swings at the first pitch. That is a foul ball. But it's no balls and 1 strike.
You know, with Ryan's new hand position, it just seems like he's late getting his foot down. He doesn't know when to start his hands back and get into that power position. You know, we call it getting in our bat centered. Getting a bat centered into a strong position over our head where we can attack the baseball. It just seems like he's kind of hesitant when to get those hands back.
One's off his foot. It's 0-2.
You can do that in batting practice. It's the same. It's repetitive. But once you get into a game, when the pitcher releases, when his leg kick, all that comes into factor in when you start to make that first move.
Well, you have two different pitchers that they've seen today with Morton and Jeff Locke. Not only because one's righty, one's lefty, but their styles are very different. Broke his bat. And Mercer's there to make the catch. 1 out here in the 4th. And here's Jeff Francoeur. Francoeur probably hit the ball the best out of anybody here today for the Phils. A line drive out to right field. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Got that little Ted Lilly turn to his rotation. Jeff Locke does.
See his 40 walks last year. He has the stuff. It's just 40 walks in 130 innings. That's not going to cut it.
Chopper foul. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dominic Brown will give that to a fan sitting in the first row. Over toward third. Harrison will cut it off toward the hole. And Francoeur is retired for the 2nd out. So 2-away here in the 4th.
Designated
Dominic hits that one sharply, but Romero was able to pick it. Not much you can do about that. I mean, he hit that right on the nose. Phillies go down in order in the 4th inning. 4 in the books here at Bright House Field with the Pirates on top by 1.
A man
Are fun for a group, but do you know how charitable they can be? Groups of 25 or more are eligible for fundraising opportunities that benefit their designated cause. It's a great way to raise funds and awareness. Learn more at Phillies.com/group tickets. Andy Oliver is about ready to throw his first pitch of the day for the Phils. One guy that threw his last pitch of the day was Jonathan Papelbon. He's down on the field with Murph. Murph?
He is indeed a very efficient inning for Jonathan Papelbon, getting his work in and getting it done. I just asked you how'd you feel out there. It's a progression, but how do you feel right about now?
I feel good. Had a great meeting this morning. MLB came in nice and early.
You're a morning guy.
Yeah, love the mornings.
I know you do.
Came in early today, and I got to the yard really early this morning. Prepared me for success today.
I'm happy to hear that. How's your arm feel? How's that feeling?
He feels good. He's just trying to get ready for the spring, and just feeling good, really good. That meeting this morning was just huge. Helped me out a lot.
I'm glad. I could tell that you were in a pretty good mood when I saw you today. Talk a little bit about your teammate. We got the news yesterday about Cliff Lee. And certainly that isn't the best news that you guys could get. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it sucks, to be totally honest with you. I mean, I don't know how better else to explain that, but, being the bearer of bad news is never a good thing. And, I know Cliff is a great teammate, great guy, and great competitor. And, he'll find a way to get through it.
This team in general, there's a lot of talk in the offseason, and you did some talking in the offseason. But how do you feel right about now? I know you worked so closely with these young guys in the bullpen. They talk about the help that you give them all the time. Tell us a little bit about that dynamic right now and how you guys are feeling.
Yeah, we had a great meeting this morning, and Kenny Giles in our bullpen, he was there this morning. He's part of our bullpen, and he had this really cute picture of him and his wife. They're like, she's a softball player, and she had like a softball, and he had like a baseball, and they're like intertwined, and it was real cute.
Okay. Can we get a copy?
But he's doing really good, and we try to learn him a few things, and that's all you can do.
Pap, it's moments like this that I just enjoy our time together. So thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, Murph. My post-game interviews aren't the best. So.
I actually think they're close to perfect. Actually,
let's keep it to a minimum this year.
Well, that's up to you. If you pitch well, I'm going to have to grab you. So.
Okay.
All right. Go enjoy yourself, Pat. I hope you have another meeting, guys. I hope you learned a lot. I'm going to send it back upstairs.
Must have been a riveting meeting today, Murph. Oh, way to hang in there with that one.
Whatever he's getting paid, it's not enough.
Who, Murph or
Murph?
Here's Jeff Locke with one man down.
Murph, you're a good sport. You are a good sport.
Locke's career numbers 102. A little high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Phillies picked up Andy Oliver in the Rule 5 draft out of the Pirates organization. 12 strikeouts for 9 innings of work a year ago at Indianapolis. That fastball in at 93 miles an hour. Made it to the big leagues back in 2010 for the first time with the Tigers, 5 games. And then in 2011, he said all that is part of the learning process that he feels will make him better as he hopefully gets back to the big leagues at some point. But command, like a lot of pitchers, command is always an issue. He just walked Jeff Locke. And now the top of the order, Josh Harrison will be the batter. He's thrown 2 scoreless innings so far, plus pitched in the game against the University of Tampa. Fly ball, short right field. Francoeur, Hernandez. Hernandez says he's got it. 2 outs. And Jeff Locke goes back to first. Pretty good location on that pitch to Josh Harrison.
Excellent pitch. Off speed down the zone. He's probably still really upset about walking Locke on 4 pitches, though.
Well, we mentioned the strikeouts per 9 innings last year. For a reliever, that's a number we always talked about when Brad Lidge was out on the mound. Here's the location of that last pitch to Harrison. But he also would walk per 9 innings 6.6 batters. So that's a lot for a reliever. It's a lot for any pitcher, but for a relief pitcher, it's a lot of guys.
Especially a reliever. You're going to be coming into a lot of ball games that are close. The last thing you want to do is put guys on. Allow the tying run or the winning run to come to the plate.
No balls, 1 strike.
Tommy doing a great job of getting over top of that ball in the dirt right there. He did actually ended up catching it. Anytime you call an off-speed pitch someone on, you just have to anticipate that ball's going to be in the dirt.
Go inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. There's Jordy Mercer with a 2-run home run. His last time up. He's the on-deck batter for the Pirates. Fly ball, right field. Jeff Francoeur has it lined up. And Andy Oliver works a scoreless 5th inning. He does walk a batter. The Pirates lead 1. Bottom of the 5th when we come back.
Sculpting the sleek body of the Mercedes-Benz.
Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is now available. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit MLB.tv for more details. Well, with Ben Davis and Greg Murphy, I'm Tom McCarthy. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Maikel Franco, Tommy Joseph, Chase Darno are the scheduled hitters against Jeff Locke. Locke, who was a member of the All-Star team back in 2013. He was 10-7 that year, an ERA of 3.52. It's a nice day to enjoy the game from out in the berm here at Bright House Field. Close to or at another capacity crowd here in Clearwater. So Jeff Locke finishing up his warm-up tosses. He was on base as the inning came to a close because of a 2-out walk. So as he finishes up his warm-up tosses, let's check in with Greg Murphy to chat about Cole Hamels and what he had to say today. Murph, what do you got, bud?
Yeah, a little bit more to say than Jonathan Papelbon did. I can tell you that, T-Mac. You know, in overall assessment of his outing today, he said pretty good. He said he felt like he was getting his work in. He's working on the pitches that he wanted to work on. There was a pitch count on Cliff today, or excuse me, on Cole today, which is to be expected in these kind of games. He said for him at this moment right now, it's all about building up that strength. It's all about getting that endurance to, that's going to take him into the regular season. Getting his pitch count up there, feeling strong, getting his wind, all of that, and that's where he's at in his second outing here down in Clearwater. So all in all, he felt like things went well. The home run was off the fastball, he said. As Ben put it, was right there in the middle of the plate. But if asked his assessment, all in all, pretty good for Cole Hamels, he said.
Murph, did he talk about certain pitches that he liked today, that he didn't like today?
Well, he said he only threw 2 curveballs,
right.
and both of those, I believe, were out of the strike zone. But, it seemed to be mostly fastballs. He did throw a couple of changeups. He didn't speak specifically about pitches, but, again, saying that he's just trying to get his work in and work on those pitches in the limited time that he has in a spring training game. So, they come in with a focus, with a plan, and Cole Hamels certainly does that. And for the most part, he was able to execute that today.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. 1 ball and 1 strike to Tommy Joseph. Joseph singled and scored.
I thought Cole's cutter today was outstanding.
Yeah, and the curveballs that he threw were kind of later in the outing. It was to one batter.
Yeah, he backed him up. He did. But his cutter was exceptional today. Very late movement.
Very good changeup when he threw it. But as Murph said, it primarily fastballs, not all fastballs, but primarily fastballs. 2-2 to Tommy Joseph. And a call, strike 3 on the inside part of the plate. The very distinct strike 3 call of Tom Hallion, the home plate umpire.
He'll let you know. He will let you know.
Looked like a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, I think it was.
Tom Hallion is the crew chief and is a crew chief during the regular season. Chase Darno, the hitter, he blooped a single to right his first time up. And he rips that one on 1 hop. Jordy Mercer, strong arm, and a 1-2-3 inning. So Jeff Locke has made easy work of the Phils. 6 up, 6 down is out. That Smiley from Hatfield Quality Meats was going to be in town here today, and there he is. The Fanatic is rolling around, shooting some hot dogs out in between innings as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Fanatic gave us a report today about his ATV. He said that Bob Davidson, who was the third base umpire in yesterday's ball game, actually stole the keys to the ATV. And he had to shut it down and then start it back up again. And when it started back up, it just wasn't working. There's Bob. So the ATV is working again, but they're going to keep it as far away from Bob Davidson as possible today.
At least it's working.
Jordy Mercer will lead it off. Andy Oliver will pitch a second inning for the Phils. As we head to the top of the 6th inning, 2-1. Pittsburgh on top. Mercer's 2-run home run. Looks like Tom Hallion and Tommy Joseph are chatting maybe about that strike 3 call when Joseph was up in the bottom of the 5th. Breaking ball, 0-1.
Such a good pitch to throw. First pitch breaking ball to lead off an inning.
Back it up with that one too.
A lot of guys, when they're leading off an inning, they're aggressive. They want to go up there and see if they can pick out a straight one to whack. You throw a wrinkle in there, it's tough.
One change for the Phillies defensively as Andres Blanco has taken over at shortstop for Chase Darno. Ball, 2 strikes to Mercer. And now 2-2.
This is where you want to make it happen. 2-2, lead off.
What did players think about, or did they think about, when it came to the Rule 5 when you played? Did you guys have it in your mind at any point when you were in the minor leagues that potentially you could be a Rule 5 pick if you weren't on the 40-man roster?
Not really. We really didn't give a whole lot of thought to it, to be honest with you.
Andres Blanco gets his first opportunity. And there's 1 out. That'll bring Neil Walker to the plate. And Walker is the subject of our Toyota leaders.
Second baseman Neil Walker.
Last year, Neil Walker had 23 home runs. And for Pirates middle infielders, that's the best. Better than Bill Mazeroski, who had 19 in 58, and Archie Vaughn, who had 19 in 1935.
Did you enjoy watching Archie play?
Oh, is that how it is? Let me think about this. Yeah, I guess it would be me that you would have to say that to. Last year it was Jamie. The year before it was Wheels. I think Matt's older than I am. Let's call Matt and ask if he enjoyed seeing Archie Vaughn.
It's a solid name, though.
It is a solid name.
Archie
and
Vaughn.
That's a lot of home runs for 1935.
It is. Was that considered the dead ball era?
Nah, they were out of that.
They were out of that.
But, still, I think it's still a lot of home runs. Bill Mazeroski, Hall of Famer. Neil Walker knows all about the history of the Pirates growing up in the Pittsburgh area. Tom Hallion had to think about that one a little bit.
Must have been tails.
Way upstairs, 2-2.
That rule not being enforced, really.
The first day,
not a swing.
The first day. And a call. Strike 3. Walker knew it. And there are 2 outs here in the 6th inning. He's thrown some pretty good pitches in this outing.
He has. I'm really liking the slider. He's got good finish.
Well, he's one of 2 Rule 5 selections the Phillies have in camp. Odubel Herrera is the other one. We've seen a lot of him. And Andy Oliver is the second of the 2. Phillies have until they break camp to decide whether they want to keep him, but they have to keep him on the roster for the entire year. I thought it was interesting listening to Andy Oliver talk the other day just about his time in the big leagues. He said he's looking at it, even though he struggled in his time with the Tigers in a short period of time, that he has a better understanding now than then about what to do if he gets back to the big leagues. And these are a couple of very good steps forward for him. He does not allow a hit, just 1 base runner in 2 innings of work.
Yeah, Murph, you know my post-game interviews aren't the best.
I hope you learned a lot.
Oh, we certainly did, Murph, as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning here in Clearwater. It's 2-1 Pirates on top. Phillies with 2 hits, Pirates with 2 hits. Changes for the Pirates. Pedro Florimon has come on to play shortstop. Steve Lombardozzi is the new 3rd baseman. Boy, I always liked him with the Washington Nationals. And Gift and Cope is the new 2nd baseman for the Pirates. And Revere leads it off. Strike 1. It's 0-1. Top of the order for the Phils. It's Revere, Hernandez, and Sizemore. Off the hands, out towards center. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Just the 3rd hit of the day for the Phillies. And now Cesar Hernandez will be up right-handed. All right, you think Ben Revere, are there times where he's a base stealer, where he works on stealing some bags in spring training, kind of getting the feel for the pitcher, particularly a left-hander, see if he can swipe one here?
Good opportunity. He's trying to get the feeling back in his thumbs first.
He was shaking those out. Hernandez bunts up the 3rd base line. It's a foul ball. And Revere goes back to 1st.
It's tough. If you do have a scouting report on lock, I'm sure he does, being a base stealer. Knowing what to look for, yeah, it might be a good time to take one. To tie and run to 2nd base.
I don't think Hernandez was bunting on his own there. I think he was bunting to try to get him up in the scoring position. At least it seemed that way.
short a bunt for a knock. I wouldn't mind pushing one up the first base side. You see there's just no man's land out there.
Oh, he is fast enough, and we've seen him do that before.
Especially with a lefty that's going to fall off towards the third base side. It's going to be very hard for Locke to recover and get back to the left.
No balls, 2 strikes to Cesar Hernandez.
Let's get one somewhere out there in that vicinity.
Mentioned that Jeff Locke has had some success against the Phillies during his career. His longest outing in his career is 8 innings. That came against the Phils. Most strikeouts is 9. That came against the Phils. He's even the count 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cesar Hernandez. And the strikeouts and the innings pitched, they were 2 different games. One was in September of 2014. The other one was July of 2014.
The one thing that he does extremely well, and I wish more lefties would do it, is throw that sinker into lefties. You know, most of the time you get a lefty, they'll live away. But he has the ability to throw that sinker middle and let it run down and into a lefty. Lefties will tell you they do not like to hit sinkers off of lefties.
In the air to left center field. They're not going to get this one. Hernandez tries to track it down. He does so on his bare hand. Revere's being held at third. It's a double for Cesar Hernandez. And the Phillies have second and third with nobody out. A great swing by Cesar Hernandez and a really nice play by Gorkys Hernandez to stop that ball in one hop.
An outstanding play.
Revere had to hold up for a moment to make sure that ball wasn't going to be caught into the gap. He had a different angle than we did.
Pete Mackanin did the right thing there. There's nobody out. The last thing you want to do is get him thrown out at home plate. It wouldn't be an ultimate rally killer, but that's the right move there.
Yeah, there were some groans from the crowd, but you have to look at the out total when you and who's coming up. And you know, it's not what the Phillies would normally have for 3, 4, and 5. It would be close, but there's still nobody out in the heart of the order coming up. The infield is back. Sizemore fouls the first pitch. It's 0-1.
And that really goes into the decision-making process of the third base coach.
It's not an easy job to be the third base coach.
No, it's not. When we talk about players thinking ahead and anticipating the next play, the third base coach really has to do that. Because you don't want to run into an out right there.
Phillies have had 2 of the best over the years as third base coaches. Larry Bowe, who's the bench coach for Ryan Sandberg. I mean, he's good at a lot of things he does baseball-wise, but he was an excellent third base coach. Yeah. And John Vukovic was the other one who was just outstanding as a third base coach.
And you notice the guys that do it very well do it for a long time.
No balls, 2 strikes to Grady Sizemore. And Sizemore pulls one deep but foul down the right field line.
See that pitch, 0-2, your eyes light up.
Lefty on lefty.
Appreciate that, Jeff.
That one's pulled toward first. Diving stop by Romero. The run will come in. And Sizemore's retired. But that's an excellent out. Not only does he get a run home, but he gets Hernandez over to third. We're tied up at 2.
Great hustle there by Sizemore as well, but you're right. Got him over and got him in.
Yeah, a lot of good things happen from that particular swing by Sizemore, and now the Phillies can take the lead with Ryan Howard up. The infield is in for the Pirates. It worked for them earlier in the game in the first with Sizemore at the plate. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Now you just want to put it in play.
Yep.
Just put it in play.
You got a piece of it. It remains no balls at 2 strikes. Nobody warming up in the Pirates bullpen, so this is Locke's inning. He's only at 32 pitches, and this is his 3rd inning of work. Really, it's only been this inning where he started to struggle a little bit with base runners.
Cervelli going out there. Hey, what are you doing? Last 2 guys, you got 0-2, and you're throwing cookies in there. Let's go. You can see him being pretty emphatic with Locke, and rightfully so.
Swing and a miss. Two outs, and that'll leave things for Jeff Francoeur.
Right fielder, Jeff Francoeur.
Even that pitch is, you could see his frustration right there by Ryan. Pitch's got to be crushed. Spring training time.
He was as frustrated as we've seen, though, as he was going back to the dugout. Jeff Francoeur, 13 pitches now in his 3 at-bats, so 12 in the first 2 ABs. Ryan sitting next to Steve Henderson. He and Jeff Francoeur were busy in the cage today with Steve Henderson, Sal Rendy, and Charlie Manuel. There's a line drive, base hit it to left field. That's going to give the Phils the lead. An RBI for Jeff Francoeur. He'll head to second, and he will be a dead duck. But an RBI single, and the Phillies take the lead 3-2 here in the 6th inning. They got 3 hits in the inning. We'll go to the 7th with the Phils on top. Top of the 7th inning here at Bright House Field. Jordy Mercer gave the Pirates a 2-0 lead in the top of the 3rd on a home run. Charlie Morton allowed a run in 3 innings of work for the Pirates. But Jeff Francoeur's RBI single in the bottom of the 6th inning was part of a 2-run 6th for the Phils. So they lead it 3-2 as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Cole Hamels started today, went 3 innings, allowed 2 runs. Jonathan Papelbon pitched a scoreless 4th, and Andy Oliver pitched a scoreless 5th and 6th innings. Changes for the Phillies. Aaron Altair is in left field. Darren Mastriani is now in center field for the Phillies. And around in right field is Brian Bogusevic. Russ Kanzler will take over for Ryan Howard at first base. And Coy Hill is the new catcher for the Phils. He'll take over for Tommy Joseph. There's Coy. And the new pitcher is big left-hander Luis Rojo. Another one of the impressive newcomers for the Phils. 2 innings so far, no runs allowed for Rojo, and that doesn't count the scoreless inning that he pitched against the University of Tampa. Phillies signed him to a major league contract during the offseason, even though he's never pitched above Double-A. Gregory Polanco is the batter. Fastball in there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Matt and I really like this guy's stuff. The hitters don't see him. There's some funny swings. Obviously, he's a mid-90s guy to the left side, but a little bit of crossfire. The hitters have a tough time picking him up.
It certainly doesn't hurt that he's as big as you are out on the mound, height-wise, and that downhill plane when he's on, like we've seen in spring training. I mean, it's got to be imposing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Not a bad spot. 2-2.
Such a good pitch right there. If he does get his bat on it, what's he going to do with it?
Out towards center field. Mastriani is there. And 1 away. And they'll bring Romero to the plate. Are they looking at overall outing for a guy like Rojo, or are they looking at how he matched up right there against the lefty Gregory Polanco?
Overall.
Overall. Because they're probably looking at him as a guy that's not only against lefties, but against righties as well.
If you throw 96, you should be able to get righties out as well. That's the bottom line. Especially if he can command the inner part, he's going to have a lot of success.
Andres Blanco behind the bag. And there are 2 outs. We had our meetings with Bob McClure and Ryan Sandberg, Ruben Amaro, and Mike Ondo, director of pro scouting for the Phillies. We talked about Rojo, and if there was a bidding, and there were. I mean, he has not pitched in the big leagues, but there were other teams that were interested in giving him similar deals, or at least close to the same deal. This is all where scouting, comes into play. He's a guy that hasn't always been healthy, and I guess that's what's hindered him. At least that's the thought. But he's only 23 years old. Kanzler into foul territory, and this is a very easy inning for Rojo. He sets the Pirates down quietly, efficiently, and rather effectively.
More exciting.
Beautiful day for baseball, and here up north in Philadelphia, it's a beautiful day to announce a brand new program coming to the Comcast Network and Comcast Sportsnet. It's Breakfast on Broad. It's been announced today. One of the hosts, and there are four, is my friend Rob Ellis. Robbie, here's to you, buddy.
Cheers.
Tell us a little bit about what this endeavor will be.
Well, I think it's going to be sports-driven, but very much opinionated, and we're going to be able to spread our wings a little bit and do more than sports. So I think there's going to be a broad appeal to it, no pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the biggest thing is, Michael, social interaction.
Rob, Ben and I both want to wish you the best of luck with the new show. It's going to be great. We are really happy for you and for the Comcast family as well. With that, we'll give you some changes for the Pittsburgh Pirates. New center fielder is, all right, hold on here. Keon Broxton is the new center fielder for Pittsburgh. Dominic Brown will lead it off. John Holtzcomb is the new pitcher for the Pirates. Out in left field, Willie Garcia has taken over for Pittsburgh. I should say in right field. And Rojas will take over in left field. Mel Rojas Jr. take over in left field.
Any relation to Mel Rojas Sr.?
I believe he is. And the new first baseman is Stetson Ali. Behind the plate is Elias Diaz. He'll take over for Francisco Cervelli. And here's John Holtzcomb, who was such a great story last year. A kid who they found in the independent leagues, of all places, and was able to get himself up to the big leagues in a very short period of time. As you can see, he is a big fella. Outside. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 27 years old out of Rancho Cucamonga, California. He truly was one of the better stories in 2014. He pitched in 9 games in the big leagues and actually made the postseason roster. And a foul ball. Dominic Brown stays alive.
Spent 2 summers in Rancho Cucamonga. 2 summers.
The Quakes.
Quakes. A-ball for the Padres.
Ball probably jumped pretty good.
It did.
Swing and a miss. Brown is down on strikes. 1 away here in the 7th. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph, I apologize for making you and Ben Revere wait.
Oh, that's all right. Ben is a very patient man. He's totally fine. We're having some fun with Chase Darno over here as well. Let's talk a little bit of baseball. You know, you guys are continuing to work towards the beginning of this season. How are you feeling right now as you get your work in here in Clearwater?
No, feel good. No, luckily ankle. Feels good. No more limping around like last year, grimacing or facial expressions like everyone wants to say. But I feel 100% ready to go. You know, swings feels good, seeing good pitches and everything. So it's all about just counting down to the season. That's all I care about. I like to sleep in some more.
Yeah, you like those night games. I hear you. Hey, you know, we've talked about this a little bit during the offseason. Individual goals for you. Ryan Sandberg has kind of set the bar for you and said, look, I want to see doubles out of Ben Revere. I want to see those 50 stolen bases. When you hear your skip talking about you like that, you like that pressure? You like that feeling?
It's a long season. You know, I say late last season, I was hitting a lot more doubles. I was driving more balls in the gaps. It was just, kind of late start a little bit, but I know now, like I said, I'm a lot healthier now. I feel like I get back to driving more balls, get out of the box quickly, and getting those doubles, maybe some triples.
You got a taste of being in that batting title late in the season. I know that's something that you enjoyed, and again, something obviously you would like to be a part of again, I would think.
Actually, not being 100%, almost winning it. Me and my grandfather talked about it. He was just like, oh, that's impressive. I was really impressed, and it's just hitting for 300. And almost getting 50 stolen bags. And this year's definitely I want to be in there again, and hopefully I can bring one back to Philly, and definitely want to get over the 50 stolen base mark. I come close to it twice, and it just fell short. So this time I kind of want to be like, okay, I want to get over that stump. Hopefully get 55, 60s, and just keep going from there.
Yeah, 49 a year ago. Before I let you go, a new homeowner this year. You bought a new house. How's that going?
First, I moved in. Of course, I had the cast on my ankle. At first, I heard like a bunch of noises because it's a 9,000 square foot house. So, I got my crutches, I'm in the cast and everything. I hear noises, so I can't run. So I was like, Jesus, take the wheel. I'm done. I know like paranormal activities type stuff. I didn't know what to do.
All right, hopefully you got that checked out.
I did finally. So I had the guy come in, kind of check the house, say, sir, there's no ghosts. Everything's cool. I'm like, all right.
It's just a creaky old house.
It's just a creaky old house. I don't know. I'm still terrified.
Thanks, Ben. Guys, back upstairs. We'll work on him with that. He needs to talk to somebody.
9,000 square feet? 9,000. There were ghosts in there. You'd never see it.
That's a big house. Outside 2-2. I thought he said during the offseason that maybe they checked and it wasn't this case. He thought there was like a raccoon or a squirrel stuck in the house. Maikel Franco is over at first. He reached on a hopping single left. Dansler fouls it back, remains 2-2. We were at, I think it was the dinner for Lehigh Valley when Ben was talking about that. Maybe he went back and they had looked at it. He said, I don't know if there's a squirrel or a raccoon, but there's something going on upstairs. Three balls, two strikes. There it goes. Pitch is chopped towards shortstop. Florimon has a play at first. Dansler's retired. Up to second base goes Franco. 6-3 on the putout. So 2 away. And Andres Blanco will be the batter. Well, I know we always talk about this being spring training and players just getting their work in, but Ryan Howard had an opportunity to drive in a run in his last at-bat, Ben, and he was a little frustrated with himself.
Well, people say, oh, it's just spring training. They don't care. No. You know what? You can see his frustration right there. He's upset. As hitters, as athletes, we take things personally. And that's a situation you want to produce. You can see the disgust right there by him. And he's going right to the cage.
Yeah, he's a proud guy. There's no question about it. He's had a number of years of success, and he's trying to work his way back.
It hurts your pride. It hurts your ego. Spring training or not, you get embarrassed by a pitcher. It's not a good feeling. I love to see that out of Ryan Howard. Love it.
4-3 on the putout. Blanco is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left in scoring position. We head to the 8th here in Clearwater. Head to tonight's showdown between the Bulls and the Sixers, plus highlights from Phil's spring training and much more, including all the talks surrounding the Philadelphia Eagles. Watch Philly Sports Talk, presented by Comcast Business on Comcast Sportsnet. 3-2, Phillies on top. We go to the top of the 8th inning here at Bright House Field. Mario Hollins, his 3rd spring training performance. First one wasn't great. Second one was excellent. And now he'll be out there for a 3rd time. And he will face the bottom of the Pirates' order. Pirates have 2 runs on 2 hits and 1 error. The Phillies 3 runs on 6 hits and no errors. Willie Garcia is going to lead things off for the Pirates. He'll be a pinch hitter. Then Steve Lombardozzi. And then we'll work you through it as we go through the batting order for Pittsburgh. All right, what do you think today offensively? A little bit better than the last couple of days? I mean, I know there's only 1 extra base hit to talk about, but a little bit better?
A little bit better. Some balls being squared up a little more frequently. And I know it will come, but still, in my opinion, too many guys getting jammed. A lot of guys going up there. I don't know if their swings are too big or too long, or they're just tardy. And that would be a timing issue.
Now, we talked about that last week, where the first few days you expect that, but at this point you start to expect them to get into a little bit more of a flow offensively.
Absolutely. See less and less jam shots.
See Garcia's numbers this spring. No balls and 2 strikes.
I think the Pirates are thinking another hard-throwing lefty. You kidding me?
Surplus for the Phillies. I mean, it's a great issue of depth for the Phils. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mario's back to the sanitaries and stirrups. To right field. Bogusevic venturing back, and he's got a beat on it. 1 out here in the 8th inning. And that'll bring Steve Lombardozzi to the plate. Well, you talk about extra men and how much of an asset it is to have an extra man. I thought Lombardozzi was the quintessential extra man for the Washington Nationals. And he essentially was moved to the Orioles and then eventually to the Pirates. And once he left the Nationals, he didn't have the same kind of role. 2 outs.
I'm going to be pleased with that at that, I tell you. Come all the way here from Bradenton. Check swing.
I drove all the way from Bradenton to Clearwater, and I didn't get a good swing at all. Well, here's Elias Diaz, the catcher for the Pirates. First pitch is over. It's 0-1. Definitely more fluid, Mario, these last couple of outings compared to that first one.
Yes.
Good pitch.
Better rhythm out on the mound as well. Get your sign and chuck it.
Line drive just past Blanco and into left field. Two out single. And Pedro Florimon is coming up.
Shortstop, Pedro Florimon.
I didn't think he had a chance to get that off the bat, but he was pretty close to it.
You never like to see 0-2 hits. It wasn't a terrible pitch. It was down and in. And Diaz did a good job of staying through the ball, not hooking it to short or to third.
That is a foul ball. Dan Iasonia is now the first base umpire. We were pretty close to maybe having a tie ball game here, the way that ball was going. Let me correct myself. That's DJ Rayburn who's over at first base. Kind of an emergency swing, but he got a pretty good piece of wood on it. One ball, 2 strikes.
Stop diving.
I was thinking the same thing. That was more a result of Florimon and the way his style is than Mario Hollins. Fought it off. Kanzler will take care of it at first base, and Mario has a sort of uneventful 8th inning. 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The game is important, but one of the important topics around camp has been that of Cliff Lee. And Scott Palmer was able to catch up with Cliff Lee earlier today after he threw a bullpen session.
Threw a bullpen. I threw 30-something pitches, got through it. So, you know, it does feel a little better. There's still something there, but it's not bad. So if it stays the way it is, I think I'll be good. So time will tell.
So it was really an encouraging session.
I think so. I mean, at this point, it's, you know, it hasn't gotten worse, so I think that's definitely a positive.
Well, this is Cliff throwing his bullpen session earlier today. I think it's stunning that he threw 30 pitches in that bullpen session, but it's great that he was able to throw it.
It is a positive sign.
Yeah.
You know, it's because we really didn't know where it was going to go the other day. Okay, are we back to square one from where he was last year? There's no structural damage. The ligaments are fine. So where do we go from now? How much pain can he tolerate? And today was a good sign.
Stolmy Pimentel is the new pitcher for the Pirates. Now the first pitch is inside. It's 1-0. I guess, you know, it's still, we have to wait and see as far as what he's able to do and whether he's able to pitch through the elbow issue. But we're probably we are ahead of where we were last year at this point with it, right?
Yeah. I would have to say so.
Second baseman Cesar Hernandez.
Here's Cesar Hernandez against Pimentel.
I think a question maybe we could ask the medical staff and Scott Sheridan and say, does this make you change your treatments at all? Are you going to try different techniques or just switch it up at all?
Or mechanics.
Well, mechanics is going to be tough. He's been doing it for a long time. He's 36. So.
And his mechanics looked the same in those few pitches that we saw him throw.
Yeah. And he's a guy that repeats his delivery. So that's going to be hard for him to change anything mechanically.
1-0 pitch to Hernandez. Outside, 2-0. Well, like a lot of folks, it's sort of a wait and see when it comes to Cliff. That one's hit sharply, and Gope throws him out, and there are 2 outs. Get warmed up for the Phillies season with the latest moves from the Phils and around the league. Watch Phillies Hot Stove, presented by Acme, tonight at 11 on Comcast Sportsnet. Over in the Cactus League, where their games will begin in probably about an hour or so. They're going to get a little entertainment tomorrow. Will Ferrell is going to play 10 positions in 5 Cactus League games tomorrow. Now, Will Ferrell, of course, is not a baseball player, but is going to be one for at least a day.
He is funny.
Now, you played your spring training over in the Cactus League. They are close in proximity. A lot of them are close.
A lot of them are close.
Not all of them, but a lot of them are.
A lot of them are close, yep.
Closer than here in Florida.
Yes. But you run into some traffic issues. It's tough.
There's no traffic here.
Why are the lights so long here?
Somebody asked me
why
that
are
yesterday.
the lights so long?
I don't know. Murph, can you go find out why the lights are so long in the
Murph
state
on the
of
move.
Florida? That'll be part of Murph on the Move.
I noticed that the other day as I sat for 6 minutes at a light.
Yeah, and don't go through them either, because they got cameras all over the Clearwater area.
Oh boy.
Why would you do that, Tom?
I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest with you. Fouled away.
All over?
Well, I don't know. There certainly is one about a mile from here. Because I believe my picture's been taken a couple times over the last couple weeks. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Aaron Altair.
Talk about the Phillies offense. Cesar Hernandez has had an outstanding day. Outstanding day. To sack his first time up, hit a ball hard, he got an RBI his second at bat. Obviously hit the double right-handed, and then just scolded that ball to second base. So that's 3 hard hit balls with a sacrifice. It's a great spring training day. Saw a lot of pitches and squared 3 balls up.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the double he hit was obviously the one that showed the greatest results because it was a double. But you're right. Even the last at bat, he hit the ball right on the nose.
Yep.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Altair. 3-2. Swing and a miss. He overpowered him 95 on that fastball, and the Phils go down in order. So let's see what the Phils can do as we go to the top of the 9th. mobile app. Get breaking news and analysis from our insiders like Jim Salisbury, plus video, scores, schedules, and more. Visit csnphilly.com/app and download today. I promised Jim that we would mention his name at least once in every telecast this week.
Okay.
So that's our one time for mentioning twice, Jim Salisbury. Jenmar Gomez will be the new pitcher for the Phillies as we go to the 9th inning. Well, let's face it. I mean, offensively, there are a few bright spots today. You talked about Cesar Hernandez, but how about the pitching? You know, Hamels gives up the 2 runs on the 2-run home run to Jordy Mercer. He felt good, but beyond that, the rest of the guys have looked outstanding here this afternoon.
They've all done it, and they continue to do a great job. Phenomenal job. I'm really happy about all the lefties. All power lefties, guys throwing strikes, mixing some good breaking balls. You're going to see that as we move forward in spring training. You'll see a few more breaking balls, but good power arms.
I think that's the key, like you said, just throwing strikes, commanding the strike zone, because the 2 starters today had a little trouble with the strike zone, but they got their work in, which is what they were hoping for. Well, let's see if Gomez can finish it off with the Phils on top by 1, and Gift and Gope will be the batter for the Pirates. He is from South Africa. The Pirates found him in a baseball academy in Italy.
Makes sense.
His first name is translated into the word gift. There was a big feature on him in Sports Illustrated about a year or so ago. 1 ball and 1 strike. Baseball America voted him the best defensive player in the Pirates system following last year.
You always want to see that he's strong defensively up the middle. Obviously, him at second base.
He's a little older for just playing in Double-A last year. He's 25 years old. Part of that, though, is he has eased his way through the system.
Cricket, a big sport in South Africa. Rugby, golf.
I would think rugby.
Rugby.
Yeah, Australian rules, football, that type of thing. Yeah. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Soccer, of course, is seemingly big. Off the end of the bat, that'll slice out of play into the seats down the left field line. Nice catch by that guy down there.
Great play.
It is pretty remarkable. The Pirates have a player from South Africa, had a couple players from India, and a called strike 3. It just shows how global this game is and the athletes that are everywhere. This is a pretty good pitch and sequence of pitches for Gomez.
Left fielder Mel Rojas Jr.
Backdoor cutter.
Well, now Mel Rojas Jr., whose dad played in the big leagues for the Expos, the Cubs, the Mets, the Dodgers, and the Detroit Tigers. 24-year-old who last year hit .277 in AAA with 5 home runs and 30 runs batted in. See his numbers this spring so far. He can run. This is going to be a tough play, and Blanco, all he could do was try to barehand it. It's going to be an infield hit, a 1-out single here in the 9th inning. Well, that is using every inch of the field there. He chopped that one right off the plate. Just to the left of the plate.
This time of the game, everything hardens up. The field becomes a little faster.
Yeah, I thought that hit the plate. That's why it took such a big hop, but it was just to the left of it. Well, here's Keon Broxton with a runner at first and 1 man down. Up for the first time this afternoon.
Like a 6.43, huh, Tom?
It would be outstanding. Broxton had solid numbers last year in Double-A. 127 games, 15 home runs, 52 runs batted in. At 275, he stole 25 bases. That one hit the leg of Broxton. So it remains no balls and 2 strikes.
.330. Umpire yelled time.
He did. Rojas drew a line in the sand where he wanted his foot to go. Low and in, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Over toward third. Franco will go the short way to second for 1 and not in time to turn the double play. So 5-4 on the put out at second, 2 outs. And Stetson Ali will come up to the plate for the Pirates.
Double play was not turned, but that was pretty. Smooth all the way around.
He does have a strong arm at third base.
Great turn by Hernandez as well.
Well, here is Stetson Ali, who was drafted by the Pirates out of high school in the 2nd round in 2010 as a pitcher because he threw 100 miles an hour. In high school, he averaged 2 strikeouts per inning. Well, that didn't really work out in a very short period of time with the Pirates. And they turned him into an offensive player, and that's worked out pretty well. He's hit 21 home runs in each of the last 2 years.
Threw 100 in high school and only went in the 2nd round.
Yeah. Well, maybe he was gonna. Maybe he was gonna. He was gonna go to college. Maybe he threatened that. Struck out 134 in 60 innings as a senior in high school. His earned run average was 1.29. Somebody beat him. He was 9-1. But how about throwing 100 for 2 years and then in the middle of your 2nd year, after 2 games as a pitcher, you turn him into being an offensive player. He's hit 21 home runs the last 2 years. Not one here as Kanzler digs it out, and the Phils have won it today 3-2 over the Pirates. Well, great job by the Phillies pitchers. They were hesitating for a moment. I'm not sure what Bob Davidson was looking at, but they were hesitating for a moment. The putout goes 6-3.
I think they're bringing another reliever in to play the bottom of the ninth.
Here are the final totals on this afternoon.
It's kind of interesting. Ryan Sandberg and Larry Boa are just. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
It does happen. It does happen.
They are going to play another half inning. It's kind of interesting. Brad Lincoln is coming in from the bullpen for the Pirates. Clint Hurdle wandering around. They're going to send the defense back onto the field. I have to admit, I have never seen this before. We'll take a break. We'll come back with some extra baseball, even though the Phillies have already won, right after this. It is officially over. The Phillies have won it by a final of 3-2. Chris Wheeler just told the crowd here, this capacity crowd, but they have elected to play. Now, Wheel said another full inning, but we'll see. I think they're only going to play a half inning here. Brad Lincoln is going to come on to pitch for Clint Hurdle. Tom Hallion's in a very giving mood today, thinking, all right, let's play another half inning. Let's play 9 full. Ben says this has happened before. I honestly have never seen it in all the games that I've seen in the spring. But they did bring another pitcher in Brad Lincoln, so they want to get him some work. Coy Hill will lead it off, and he swings at the first pitch. Fly ball to left, and one pitch, one away. Is that going to happen a lot, you think?
No, it will not happen. This is when the adrenaline really starts flowing, Tom.
Do you remember a game where in spring training where you have played?
Yeah,
really?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Pitchers need to get their work in. They need to face hitters.
I do believe that it's only one half inning. That's it.
Yes. I don't see anyone getting loose for the Phillies. So,
crowd has seen enough. They're okay with walking away with the Phillies holding on to a 1-run lead. Brian Bogusevic is the batter. He'll take a strike. It's 0-1. Dominic Brown is on deck. Outside. They've given up in the video boardroom. They're not putting the count up on the board. They're not putting the out up. We're going to follow along, though. 1 ball, 1 strike. Off the end of the bat. Foul territory. Lombardozzi has room. And there are 2 outs in our imaginary half inning here at Bright House. I'm still scoring. Well, the guys are batting, so I got to write it down.
Consummate professional time.
It's more out of habit than anything else. I mean, Murph still has his microphone down there. He's sitting down, but he still has his microphone. Murph, you're still down there, aren't you? Murph's got seeds. That's the problem. He's got seeds in his mouth.
I don't have seeds, Tom.
Oh, okay. But you are still down there.
I am still down here. You never know when an interview with someone might break out.
Hey, by the way, what did you take? Did you take Ben out to dinner last night for his birthday?
No, we're doing that tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He didn't want to go last night, so we're going to go tonight.
Ben, he turned it on you.
I gave him the Irish guilt trip all morning.
He turned it on you.
That's okay.
0-2 the count to Dominic Brown. Brad Lincoln was with the Phillies last year. Ball was misplayed down the right field line in foul territory in the concourse. And it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Now, do these stats count?
That's a great question.
I guess they would, right?
Well, I think in some way, shape, or form, they're going to count for somebody. I mean, if you're Dominic Brown and you blast one here, you want it to count.
Absolutely.
If you're Brad Lincoln, if you pitch a scoreless bottom of the imaginary 9th inning, you want it to count. One ball, 2 strikes. Check swing. In the air to right field. It's got to count, doesn't it? And that one is gone. A home run for Dominic Brown.
While we play a full 9 times.
That's exactly right. I'm not sure whether to say the Phillies are on top 4-2 or they're on top 1-0 here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
They start with 1 on the board for tomorrow.
All right. A home run for Dominic Brown. All he needed to do was not have it really count, and it would relax him as he slams that one over the wall in right center.
And how much better does he feel about himself? I mean, that's worked out for him.
Yeah, it was a pretty good swing, too. And, you know, this is a Brad Lincoln who throws in the low to mid 90s. Michael Franco, the batter. No balls and 2 strikes. That's the first home run of the spring for Dominic. It's only the 3rd home run the Phillies have hit. We are being told officially that the statistics do not count. It's not fair.
Just his luck.
We're going to put it in a separate category when we give his statistics.
Asterisk.
Yeah. Three balls and 2 strikes to Franco. Swing and a miss. And the bottom of the 9th inning has come to a close. So does the ball game officially. The Phillies win it today against the Pirates.